Hey everybody, welcome into the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena. I'm your host 𝗧𝗵𝗲 along with my co-hosts Burley and Carl. So we're here to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So this is our spoiler review of the movie. So for all of you over on Patreon, this will be, of course, ad-free. And then, of course, this will also be going up to our YouTube channel on the Arena Productions. So, guys, before we get into it, I have a question for you. How packed was your theater when you watched the film? For me, here in Japan, this film was competing against the Mario movie. And so my wife and I, we went to go see it on opening night at the late show, but it was during Golden Week and it was really, really busy. Golden Week always is at the movie theaters, and our movie theater was not full. I mean, a lot of people were going to see the Mario film, but how about your theaters? Were they packed?
Well, I went at 11 a.m. on Friday.
Okay.
The opening day.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expect that there'd be a lot of people, but there was like a decent enough people in the theater, I suppose, for that showing. I wasn't like the only people, maybe one other couple.
Okay. Burley, how about your theater?
I went Saturday at 4:30. It was like 90% packed.
90% packed. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, guys. So for all, just a warning for all of you viewers: if you have not seen the film yet, you might want to go away and come back and watch our video later, because we're going to get into spoilers now, because this is a spoiler review of the film. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I will start. I think overall, the acting, everyone was great in this film. The High Evolutionary, I mean, he was awesome. I mean, obviously I hated him, but I mean, he was awesome. The thing about it, though, he was soundly defeated at the end. That's one thing that I was a little bit kind of, a little bit frustrated with the film in a sense. But anyway, the narrative went by. It was like a fast narrative. I thought the pacing with like the flashback scenes were really great as well. Just generally, I wasn't blown away with the film, but I thought it was a really good finale to this trilogy. I think James Gunn, he's so consistent. And I think of this trilogy is probably the best trilogy in the MCU.
It was a challenge for that.
That's fine. I mean, this is just my opinion, Carl.
Yeah.
So
it's a contender for sure.
Yeah, very dark and emotional, I think, in certain areas. I mean, the cage scenes in this film, and of course, the CGI animal characters and all, and the the animal cruelty aspect of it all. I mean, it was very dark in that sense, and emotional in that way. Saying goodbye to these characters. Obviously, this is probably going to be the last film for many of the characters. It was sad, but I was happy that they survived. I mean, nobody died in the film, this time, so I thought that was really cool. The soundtrack was awesome, as well. My favorite song that they played was that No Sleep Till Brooklyn from the Beastie Boys. That area, towards the end of the film, where they're going down that corridor and just wiping out all of those, enemies and everything, and in the slow motion and everything. That was so cool.
That action sequence was a visual masterpiece.
Yes. It was amazing.
And I saw it in 3D, and it looked incredible in 3D, by the way.
Yes. So, and then I'll just kind of wrap up by saying the thing I was a little disappointed with in this film was I wanted to see StarLord and Gamora get back together again in some way. Obviously, Gamora is a different Gamora, but I was hoping that spark would be there again, but it just didn't play out. They ended up being friends and all, it seemed, at the end, but there wasn't any kind of romantic relationship again that came out of this, and so I was a little disappointed with that. But all in all, great film. I mean, the Adam Warlock character was really cool. I mean, and how that turned out at the end. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, great film. All in all. So, Carl, I'll go ahead and throw it over to you. What were your thoughts on the film overall?
Yeah, I loved it. As far as like the best trilogy, I mean, like it's up there for sure. I think for me, the Captain America trilogy is still my favorite.
Okay, yeah.
But this is a very, very close second because all three of these movies are fantastic and consistent. And James Gunn, like, he knows this world and these characters so well, he can just nail it. The High Evolutionary getting like defeated, the part you said, like the way he did, I actually commented to my wife how I liked that, in the sense that it's not about that, right? How do they defeat this overwhelming power? Like, that's not the movie. This is a character driven movie. It's about their relationships, right? It's about their psychological traumas and things that they have to go through. And defeating the enemy at the end isn't the climax, right? And I like that. I think that's different. There's so many superhero movies where it's just like, oh, how do we power up to defeat the powered up bad guy?
Yeah,
that's super typical. And it was interesting that like they just kind of beat him because the rocket was sort of prepared. Like, I really like that when he set off his gravity thing. Rocket's like, no, fuck that. I got my gravity, whatever, anti-gravity boost or whatever he used that like reversed that ability. Because he is just using tech. So why not? That was cool. That made sense. Adam Warlock, who just appeared on the screen here, was the one thing that I liked. Look, I really liked him. His portrayal, I think, was interesting, and he was very powerful. I enjoyed the way they made his personality. Like, he's like kind of a kid. He's young, but he's in an adult body.
Yeah.
He was kind of like didn't really need to be in the film. Like, you kind of cut him out, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
But I still liked him. I'm happy that he's introduced into this world.
Yeah.
The stuff with Gamora, like, again, I think that was challenging to deal with as a writer and director of this franchise. That this was done to your character outside of your films, and you're handling it here, and I think it was handled incredibly well. Like, they didn't need to get back together, and it made a lot of sense because like she's a different person because she didn't get to make the same choices that the other Gamora made. Right? Like to really try to take out Thanos. Like she did a lot in the previous version, and this one kind of like that was taken away from her. She was just kind of given that freedom. Overall, like, the visual effects in this movie, I cannot believe like how great pretty much every sequence in this film looks.
It was amazing.
So I don't, I hope this movie wins an Oscar for visual effects. I'm annoyed that Marvel has never won that, I believe. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's just like a bias against these type of films, and they just want to give it to any other film that has visual effects that's like of a more serious tone. Like that, what was that war movie that won, which had great visual effects and how they built it, right? How they made it. But like, this is an incredible thing to look at everywhere. That weird world where everything is like organic. Right. What a crazy weird idea, but it's like it works. It's cool.
It was perfect.
It's a really unique location to put in this film. I enjoyed. I mean, I don't know what else is there to say. Like, I just think, every character had their great moments. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's let Burley jump in because I know he's probably got a lot of things to say. So, overall thoughts, Burley. Go ahead, man.
I really enjoyed the film overall. Like you guys both said, it was a good story, good visuals, and I like that this wasn't just at the end ended up we need to kill bad guy, power up. No, it's we need to save people. That was the main thing, and just having to stop the villain because he's in their way. That like I thought that was good. But Adam Warlock, this is one of my things. Like, I get it. They set him up at the end of 2 and teased him, but this Adam Warlock in this film for me was a negative. I didn't exactly like the portrayal, and then they just kept. It was fine if they did it for a little bit, but they go a little too hard with it. Of just, he is a kid, he's an idiot, doesn't know anything, and just like acts like. It's just like that bothered me. It just went on way too long. It was like, come on. This just seemed like, okay, I set up Adam Warlock in the last film. Frick, I set him up in the last film. He's a big character. Well, we got to introduce him in the MCU. Okay, we'll just write him in here quick.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said I feel like he didn't need to be in there. He could have taken him out, but I get it.
Yeah, but I like how he redeems himself at the end. I mean, and it's funny as you were talking about him earlier, Carl, and like Adam Warlock when he was coming into nowhere and just beating everybody up. I thought Groot was dead.
Oh yeah, right.
And then like when he like tore him apart, and then it's like later Groot's head like runs back and reattaches itself to his body.
Regrows the body,
the body and everything.
There's a number of brutal moments in this film. Like they really pushed the violence in a way that I think is as far as you can go for a PG-13 film.
Yeah, I was surprised it wasn't R, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and one other thing I just want to point out too. I mean, of course, in all three of these Guardians movies, someone is like freezing and dying in space. It's like StarLord should have died in this film. I mean, you see his face like puffing out. It's like it reminded me of like the movie Total Recall. It's like when they're like on Mars and like their faces and their eyes are bulging out and everything. It's like his face is like literally popping, and he should be dead. And then Adam Warlock comes in and saves the day, right?
Yeah, I like that they doing this sort of like full complete circle sort of thing, where like repeating a couple things from the first film to sort of tie it back, like him trying to do sort of the same thing, but he didn't have the mask, right?
Yeah.
And he's saving people this time instead of saving like I mean, he was saving Gamora, right? The other one,
but
he's saving like trying to save everyone in this one.
Yeah.
I think that was realistic. I don't know. I gotta check the science people what they say on that. But like you do like right in space because there's no pressure, right? You would expand. I don't know if that would kill you instantly. It kills you very quickly. But Adam Warlock came and got him. It was fine. We got him. But I loved how they ended it. The last song they played is "Come and Get Your Love," which was the first song that was played in the first film.
Right.
So that was cool, and that was also the song that me and my wife used for our first dance at our wedding.
Oh.
So
cool.
That was nice to hear it again in the film.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about the mid credits and the post credit scene. So obviously the mid credit scene, we have the new group together, and Adam Warlock has joined them now, and so they're off on another adventure. What did you guys think of the mid credit scene? Burley, I'll start with you.
I thought it was all right, just showing the new iteration of the team. So you got Adam Warlock, Rocket, Groot, Cosmo. And then I know I'm forgetting someone on the team.
Yeah, what's the character name? Sean Gunn's character.
Yes, exactly.
He's got the Yondu fin now, and now he can use it. He had his moment. I like that. That was good.
Yeah, and in the film, of course, Yondu, he actually, as a spirit, shows up. Like,
that I did like the little
boy.
So that was great. Cool. I like the back and forth with Kraglin, that's his name. Kraglin and Cosmo.
Bad
dog. Back. I'm not a bad dog.
That's great. Yeah, and then Drax and Mantis. I mean, just the comedic, parts of the film with them. I mean, it was really good as usual. But
Nebula, how about very very strong character?
Yes,
interesting.
Nebula.
Now, my question, you guys. Now, where is Mantis going now? I mean, you see her like going off with the monsters and everything there, but I mean, where is she going? Is she going back to her own home world or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if they said anything about that. If her home world was around still. But,
yeah.
And then the after credits, right, is the StarLord on Earth, which
Right.
is nice.
Those
I like that
credits,
he's just like, I think it was funny. It's a good funny one where he's just like just being a regular human living in a regular house, you know, just regular problems.
Well, yeah, and that's what I liked about the film. I mean, and Mantis was bringing it up to him in the film that, you know, you're running. You know, it's like these people, they care about you, and you know, they're probably still living. You should go and see them, and that, you know, is true for a lot of families and a lot of people. So, yeah, that was pretty cool to see him go home and, you know, and to meet up with him again and stuff. And they're sitting there and he's eating cereal and all, and he's like reading the paper and all and stuff. And that was pretty cool. So yeah.
There's so many characters in this world, right, that could come back. So like, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, whoever you want to pull out and use, you know, you had Stallone and that team with the Ravagers, right? And Gamora would join them. And, you know.
Yeah. And you know, StarLord's going to come back at some point in the MCU. I mean, he might even join the Avengers or something now. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they said it that was the thing at the end, where that StarLord would return. Well,
yes. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it makes sense because you have a lot of stuff on Earth. So like, at some point, he'll run into another character because he's on Earth now.
Yeah. So anyway, where would you put this among the three films? I mean, where would you rank them? I think this would be second for me. I think the first film's still the best, and then 3, and then 2, for me. I mean, what about for you guys? Burley?
See, this is hard because they're all great films. It's hard to rank them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 2, 1, 3.
2, 1, 3. Okay. Carl?
You know, I mean, like the first one is the one that I love the most. Just I mean, it's the origin. It's a very tight movie. I don't know, I want to rewatch that movie a lot.
Yeah.
But then I love the second and third one also. I don't know that I don't feel like I can't rank those two over each other. I feel like it's just a tie. You know,
they're ties.
The first one is like the one I love the most, even though they're all really, really good. So yeah.
All right. So that's been our quick wrap up and spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Obviously, in June, here on the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena, we will be coming each week for a review and recap episode of Secret Invasion. And go and check out our video here on the Arena Productions. We did a trailer of the latest trailer for Secret Invasion. So that's up on the channel now. So go and check that out. And we're looking forward to that coming out on June 21st. So we're going to be, like I said, reviewing each episode here on the Arena Production. So we're really looking forward to that. So anyway, I've been your host, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, along with my co-hosts, Burley and Carl. We hope to catch you in the next episode of the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.